Well, hello and welcome everyone to today's featured webinar presentation. My name is Gavin Seaman and I am a product expert at Replicon. And today I will be your guide and host for this featured webinar presentation about managing the top concerns for labor compliance for remote and hybrid workforce. So, before we kick things off, let's take a quick look at what we have in store for today's agenda. First, we're going to take a look at an overview of all the problems that organizations face when it comes to the challenges around labor compliance, and we'll look at the Replicon platform and how we can help you solve these challenges within the platform. Afterwards, we're going to look in, to take a look at the platform where I'll show you a demo of everything in action, and then we're going to look at some customer transformations, and finally, we're going to wrap things up with a Q&A session. A couple of housekeeping items just to keep in mind that throughout the course of today's presentation, your lines will be on mute. However, if you do have any burning questions that do pop across your mind at any given time, feel free to drop them in the question box below and I'll be more than happy to answer them at the end of the session. Please don't feel like I'm ignoring you. We just want to make sure that everything is going in an orderly fashion so we can wrap today's session up within the stipulated hour. So, for some reason, if you're unable to see my screen or if you're unable to hear my voice, then go ahead and raise your hand. I am connected on my mobile device, so I can see who's raising the hand and I will get with you to see how we can fix these issues so we can proceed with today's presentation. So now that we have all of these items out of the way, I think it's time to get started. So let's talk about the challenges around global time, gross pay, and compliance. Here is a use case where we need to solve the time to gross pay needs for a diverse multi-location business. There are a lot of contextual points that add complexity here, right from the employee type to location specific needs to complex pay, PTO, and compliance policies. Throw in the deskless workforce component can be a bit of a nightmare for most organizations to work around. Businesses can take an app approach to solve this problem and end up with a complex ecosystem with n number of vendors in addition to outsourcing manual or Excel based processes. No wonder we've come across businesses where 10,000 employee organizations end up with 36 systems, to be able to meet for time to in order to meet localization with use cases and other complexities. Here are the common challenges that organizations face. Payroll and HR leaders face issues with lack of visibility into global time and pay data. There is a general inability to scale across locations, which means you end up with a manual process or more systems. Global laws and compliance is the biggest issue that most leaders talk about. The challenges increase if there are diverse employee types like salary, hourly, crew, field based, and so on. The current situation with the pandemic adds its own issue, as you know. All this means you end up customizing a solution, which means longer implementation cycles, or worst case, you stick to the manual process and then deal with all of the inefficiencies that come with it. That is why we created Replicon, is because we wanted to help you solve these kind of challenges and also help you stay compliant while doing so. There has been a sudden shift in the workplace models in the past year compared to 2020 with 2021, with hybrid work, work from anywhere workplace models gaining more popularity. Digital agility is leading the way for organizations to adopt company wide transformation. Key drivers influencing the change are enable the workforce with new digital tools, operational transformation that will help seamlessly connect to the entire ecosystem, adopt a cloud based solution that brings more value to the business with speed, deployment, efficiency, cost reduction, data security, and so much more. At Replicon, we believe that people's time is a strategic asset, and it is also something that you have to, manage and treat it so very carefully as a precious resource that it is. Time is finite, and you only have so much available to you. And exactly how much time you have at your disposal, well, that depends on the size of your organization. You see, for 500 employees, you have about 1.4 million hours available per year. For 5,000 employees, you have about 10.4 million hours available per year. And for 50,000 employees, you have about 104 million hours available per year. And that is so much time. That is way too much time for anyone to track manually. And what makes dealing with this time so complicated, you may ask? Well, one of the reasons is that time is fragmented and tedious. And as you can see right here with our poor Frankie, well, he's literally been torn apart. He has so many moving parts that don't necessarily fit well together for him. We have CRM, PSA, HMC, payroll, project management, and all of these different components are trying to send and receive data to and from each other. Well, this can create quite the jumble of data. While trying to get the data where we need it to go can be pretty difficult, we've gone ahead and further compounded these matters where we have people working from home, people working from office, and sometimes a hybrid of both together with on-premises hardware, on-premises data, and database that are all being handcuffed together. So getting the right data to the right place does become a tedious task. Any of these challenges on my screen look familiar to you? Which ones? We commonly hear issues with global labor law compliance, payroll errors, complex time tracking needs like job costing, union rules causing issues, and so much more. You're probably nodding your head to one of them. You may be nodding your head to all of the problems, and that is the kind of things we want to help you solve within our platform. You don't want your leaders trying to figure out if the data is right. Know your data is accurate and reliable, and use the time to make strategic decisions instead. We can solve all of these problems for you. The Replicon Time Intelligence platform provides businesses with a single source of truth that they need for all their time data. It helps tackle all project time and tracking needs for any business. It is super configurable to meet all your business needs. We scale seamlessly from small to large organization. Replicon supports global needs and is secure. The most important part is that we take a mobile first approach, and our platform is built on the latest and greatest technology to help your business manage its time in the most efficient manner possible. Finally, you could very easily connect our platform with your ecosystem using our web service APIs, getting time, cost, pay, and even billing data to the backend systems of your liking. We have a comprehensive suite to help every customer manage their employees' time, projects, job, compliance, people, and overall profitability in a very, very easy to use manner. And today we will be talking about our time and attendance solution. We believe it should not be difficult for an organization to get the complete picture of their global time and attendance data, and that is what our platform solves for them by helping them to capture 100% of their time across employee types, location, anytime, anywhere. We are able to meet all global, complex, mobile, and compliance needs for your business. So with that, I think it's time to pause the slideshows and actually hop into the demo so I can show you exactly what we have in store for you. I'm sure a lot of you are eager to see what our platform looks like. So in a minute, you're going to see my screen change. And there you go. Now, I do have a bit of a pressing matter at hand as I am the administrator for this organization, as you can see on the top left hand, I'm sorry, right hand corner of my screen. And as the administrator, I do have access to the compliance dashboard. And if there are any updates or any modification or amendments in the labor laws or the geolocation or just the locations that you are subscribed for within the platform, then you will see a big red glowing number that would come up next to the administration panel, depending on how many ever updates or modifications are there. And if you scroll down, you'll be able to see the same reflecting near the compliance dashboard. So by clicking on the compliance dashboard, it's going to take you to the dashboard where we manage all of the different labor laws in order to help you manage your unions or your CBS within your organization that you're working with. Our compliance dashboard is hosted and managed by our legal team and product experts who are constantly combing the globe for any changes in labor laws within Replicon. Now, the labor law or pay rules can be easily assigned on a user batch basis or on a user basis or a batch basis based on your organization, and you'll be able to see a nice rundown of how all of these are working. So right now you're able to see that the fourth option on my screen says review, which means there is some sort of an update which has come through. And for us, in order to be able to check what the update is, all you need to do is click on review, and then you're going to get a snippet of what it is all about. So you can go ahead and click on acknowledge, and therefore you are staying compliant. But we wanted it to be a little more than just a checkbox that you're checking. You can always see more as to what the update was about by clicking on the version here and reading a little more about what it is. But if you still want to know more about what exactly the update was all about, then we suggest you head over to what the policy you are subscribed for by clicking on the subscription tab and then choosing whichever one was the latest update, which will automatically take you to our blog page. You don't necessarily have to be logged in to be able to access the blog. Anyone who has access to the internet can very easily access the blog, and here you can read through all of the updates that have happened. Make sure you understand what the changes were all about or what the new laws are in effect with. And once you understand everything, you can head back to the Replicon dashboard, jump back to your payrolls, and then click on the review tab, click on acknowledge, and voila, as easy as that. Now you are updated, and you can also go ahead and implement all of these new changes within your organization to ensure that you are staying compliant with the latest labor laws. It's very crucial that it's not just a checkbox that you're checking, but you're also being able to implement that. And we wanted to be able to help you to enforce that within your organization. And that's the options that we have delivered for you. Now, within our platform, there are 130 different payrolls that we have. And chances are, if there are a certain payroll that you are working with or looking for is not here, then the backend team is probably working on it, having it updated, or we can work with you to have the same updated within our platform. So just to give you an idea as to what these payrolls are all about, I'm going to just open up one of them to show you what they're about. Now, the payrolls are basically parameters that are set by your local government that you have to follow in order for you to stay compliant with the various labelers that there are. Now, these are not editable, which means you have to follow these in order to stay compliant. However, we do understand that some of you want to make certain changes in the way you operate and the way you function. We have taken that into consideration as well, and we've given you an option where you can go ahead and do just that. So if you wanted to be able to make changes to any of these parameters that you see right here, all you have to do is click on the little checkbox right here for whatever payroll you're following, head over to more, and then click on make a copy of. Once you do that, you'll be able to see a copy of the specific label or that you are working with. For example, I made one here, copy of Australia. So now I can go ahead and change the parameters based on my organization's preference. Let's say the daily overtime hours were set at minimum of 30 hours, and we want to change that to let's say 35 hours. We can go ahead and set that as well. The weekly overtime limit was but at 8 hours. We just want to do 4 hours, so we can set that as well. All of the options are available. The onus is on you how you want to do this, but we don't necessarily recommend this, is because any of these changes that you make to these specific payrolls will not receive any updates within the compliance dashboard. If I jump back to the compliance dashboard, you can see that this specific one is out of date. The reason being, it is a copy of the original payroll. It's not the actual payroll, and this is the reason why we don't recommend it. Nevertheless, the option is available for you to go ahead and make these changes if that's something you're looking for. Again, our platform is completely customizable to meet your organization's exact needs, to ensure that you can work smoothly and the way you intended to. So now that I've shown you how easy it is for you to be able to manage all of the different payrolls that within our dashboard, our compliance library has everything for you to manage your unions and CBS as well. Let's kind of switch gears and see how easy it is for us to go ahead and manage our time. So if I click on the My Replicon tab right here, it's going to go ahead and take me to our timesheet place where no, this is your dashboard where you can go ahead and log time. There are a couple of different ways you can do that, so I'm going to talk about that in a minute. But before I do that, I just like to say that on the right hand top side of my screen you see a ribbon with multiple options that I can click on. The reason I have access to all of these is because I am logged in as an administrator, and two, thanks to the magic of webinar, I have access to all of the different solutions at one go. Nevertheless, based on the type of solution that you purchase from us, or based on the roles that have been assigned to you, you may or may not have access to all of these different tabs that you see on my screen right now. So don't be alarmed if you don't see something on your own Replicon tab. It's just because it's not been assigned to you or it's not part of the license you purchased. Nevertheless, I have access to all of this, and in the My Replicon tab itself, you may have access only to the timesheets. You may not have access to the time off or expenses. Again, it completely depends on the license that you purchased from us. So don't be alarmed again if you only have access to one of these and not all. I do is because I have access as an administrator, and thanks to the magic of webinars, for me to be able to show you how all of this works. So the first way you can go ahead and clock in and clock out, and again, all of these options are available. You can use all of them. You can use one of them based on your organization's preference, is to clock in and clock out. So let's say I just want to go ahead and punch in and punch out. I can do that from right here by simply going and clicking on clock in, and it clocks me in very simply. But in order to be able to capture an image of who's clocking in and clocking out, you can do the same from your mobile device, which I'll be showing you in a little while's time. But the options are available. If I want to take a break, I can go ahead and click on break from right here. If I want to clock out, I can do that from right here. So this is called a punch in and punch out method. You can follow this. But if you want a timesheet to be able to capture more information as to what time they're clocking in and clocking out, you can head over to your timesheets. Now, we being the time intelligence company that we are, and the years of experience that we have working with different use cases around time, we have built multiple timesheet templates, or different timesheet templates, I should say, which you could very easily customize to each of your users within your organization based on what their exact needs are. Now, what you're looking at right here is a project-based timesheet, which ideally would work if you are working with multiple projects. But let's say you just have, and you want, a very simple timesheet, then you can also have an in and out timesheet. Or if you want a distribution grid, you can have that. All the options are available. So as an administrator, you can head over to the timesheet template tab, and check out what are all the customizable options that are available for you to be able to customize all of these various timesheets. So a typical work week for me, I've come in at 8, I left at 6, so I'm going to go ahead and put in some time for Friday as well. Notice how intelligently it automatically picks up 24 hours format. So I put 22, which is 2200 hours, which is 10 p.m., and it automatically goes ahead and captures it as 10 p.m. Now I log my time against a specific client that I worked with, a specific project that I've been working on, and a specific task that I worked on. And the options, notice it automatically goes ahead and selects the billing rate that would work best, but you have the option to go ahead and change them based on whatever billing rates have been assigned to you. Now I'm going to go ahead and click on the refresh icon right here, and I'm going to draw your attention to the override with option for just a minute, is because we understand that maintaining a timesheet and entering all of the data can be a little monotonous and time consuming. We wanted to make this process a lot easier for you, and we wanted to make the process a little more less time consuming than what it normally would take. So there are a couple of options that you could use. You can either use copy all the data from your previous time entries including the time data, or from the previous timesheet including the time data. And if you have a set schedule that you're following, then you can very easily go ahead and copy your schedule to populate the specific timesheet. It's a lot easier, and when you don't have to keep entering 8 to 4, 8 to 5, whatever the hours you're working, when you can just go ahead and choose one of these options and it'll overwrite it for you. All you need to do is just give it a once over and make sure everything's good, and you can submit the timesheet. There are also other ways where if you're entering it per day, then you can have the timesheets programmed in a way that at the end of each day, when the your punch out has been put in, it'll automatically submit the timesheet for you. You can also have it in a way that if there are no errors in the timesheet, it'll automatically be approved. If there are any errors, it'll go only to a supervisor for approval. There are multiple ways how you can work on having these timesheets approved and also automating the process, saving you a lot of time in terms of administrative overheads. And that's the goal here. We want to be able to help you maximize your revenue, I'm sorry, your profit from your existing operations. We don't want you to add to your headcount. Our platform is going to be able to help you maximize from what you have. Less is more. We don't want you to keep adding to your headcount. So that's the goal right here. Now, if I go ahead and click on allocate these hours, what it's going to do very intelligently, take all of these entries that I have and distribute it in a grid, which will be very convenient for a for a project manager or a resource manager to be able to understand how exactly your day has been spent. So as you can see, it goes ahead and takes all of those various hours that I worked and also intelligently figures out how many, which of those hours are overtime hours and how many of them are actually regular time hours based on how you've gone ahead and configured it in the administration panel. So the regular time is 8 hours a day. Anything more than that would be considered as overtime. So as you can see right here, I work 4 hours, and then 2 hours on a specific project, as you can see, and it automatically goes ahead and takes that time and puts it in a distribution grid and shows up as overtime. So this is how intelligent the platform is. It does all of the heavy lifting for you. You don't have to sit and calculate all this stuff. All you need to do is crunch in the numbers and then sit back. It also shows you the progress bar to see how far along you're progressing with the various tasks that you're working in. Now this information has been pulled from your projects that you're working with. When you put in those estimated hours, it goes ahead and shows you your actual versus estimates in real time, giving you a good idea to see how far along you're progressing with these various tasks. And actually, if you've gone ahead and exceeded those estimated hours, as I've done right here, we are actually at 144 hours, which means we're way over the estimated mark. So a good chance for us to go ahead and maybe increase those estimated hours as the project has not been completed, or have a conversation, whatever it is. The options are available for you to go ahead and make those changes. So within the platform, there will be validation rules that are triggered. Now what there are two types: one are hard validation errors and one are soft validation errors. So a hard error, which will generally come up in red, which means it will prevent your timesheet from being submitted. Soft errors are just warnings that would populate. It'll still submit your timesheet, but just letting you know there's something wrong in your timesheet. The reason we have these validation rules is to ensure that your timesheets are compliant and are correct before they are submitted, as we wanted to avoid the entire back and forth between you and your supervisors, where you submit a timesheet, some data is missing, they come back to you, and that delays the process, and that cascades into billing, that cascades into your cash flow coming into your organization. So we wanted to be able to avoid all of that and streamline it, and nip the situation at the bud before it kind of escalates. And that is one of the options that we have. You can also go ahead and customize these templates by having your target billable hours, a payroll summary also, and an attestation at the bottom of the screen. Now, again, you can have it as simple as you want them to be, or as complex as you like these timesheet templates to be. You also can go ahead and book your time off from within the timesheet itself. You can choose from whatever time off types are available to you, and you can choose from a full day, a half day, or a partial day as well, and have it submitted. Again, the approval path is completely customizable. You can choose how you want to do that. You can automate it. You can have it partially automated. Again, the options are available for you to go ahead and do that. So I'm going to go ahead and see if I can submit this timesheet. I received a soft warning letting me know that the attestation was not accepted. So go ahead and click on that. See, soft warnings still allow you to submit the timesheet. Hard warnings, however, are a different case. They don't let you submit the timesheet. It's because all of these errors have been triggered because of the validation rules that are put in place. So there are policies to ensure that everything is staying correct, like for making sure you're staying compliant with the various labor laws you're working on, or making sure you don't exceed those estimated hours on the projects that you're working on, like I have done. And because of that, I've received a submission failure. And like I said, the only way for me to be able to go ahead and submit this timesheet is by correcting the information or by having a conversation if I feel all of this data is correct. Nevertheless, the options are there for you to be able to manage all of this very, very seamlessly within the platform. You can also go ahead and book your time off from right here. You have a dedicated tab for you to be able to book your time offs from within the platform based on whatever time offs are available to you. You can, click on a specific day you like to book the time off, and like I showed you, you can book from whatever time off types are available to you. You can choose to book a half day, full day, or a partial day as well. And another feature we have is you being able to see who else is requested for time off within your department, within your organization, or within the team that you're working for. So the options are available, making it a lot more easy for you to request for that time off. And also, what are your chances of it being approved or being denied as well. So that's a nice feature, right? Also, as a supervisor, it becomes a lot more easy for you to approve time offs because you know exactly who's on a time off. Having a calendar to be able to see who's on time off and who's not on time off makes it a lot easier than having guesswork in the picture. Should I accept Ryan's time off? Who else is on a time off? Did Richard request for time off the same time as Ryan, or was it a week before? So all of that guesswork is taken out of the picture, and it makes it so much more easy for you to be able to make sure that you have sufficient resources to work for a specific day and also plan accordingly. So this is a very useful feature that we have within our platform. And you're able to see all of your bookings that you made by clicking on the bookings tab, which will show up. I just have one, but if there are a number of bookings, then you're able to see all of your bookings that come up here. You can also choose how you want to your time offs to, what if you want to set it to a start off balance, or if you want them to accrue, or if you want them to carry forward. All of the options are available. You can very easily customize them on a user basis, on a batch basis, and you can go ahead and set that up. The onus is on you how you like to take care of this, but nevertheless, the options are available for you to be able to manage this as so. And if you have a team that you're working with, then you can manage the team as well very easily by clicking on the team tab. And here you'll be able to get notified if a timesheet has been submitted for your approval, if time offs have been submitted. And if you have the mobile app installed, then you will receive a push notification which will let you know that something needs your attention. You're able to go ahead and approve all of them at one go by clicking on the checkbox right here, or by jumping into each one of them individually to see what the timesheet is all about. And as you can see with Ryan's timesheet, it's a very simple punch in punch out kind of template that we've used with a time distribution grid, but we've not exactly used the distribution grid, but it's still there. You can also discard that. Again, these are options where you can go ahead and customize these timesheet templates based on however you would like to see them. So if everything's right in the timesheet, I can go ahead and approve it. If not, if there's some missing information, I can reject the timesheet. I can reopen the timesheet. Again, the options are available as to how you want to be able to do all of this. You also see an approval history that shows at the bottom of the screen, and I can, so like I said, I can reject it, I can approve it, I can also reopen this timesheet, and I can send it back to Thomas so he can make whatever changes needs to be done accordingly. And notice we also have a payroll summary, so Thomas knows what exactly his pay looks for this specific pay period. Again, you can even customize how this payroll summary comes up. If you don't want to show the pay, you just want to show the hours, you can do that as well. And all the options are available, and we support different currencies. We also support different languages, and we also support different locations as well. So if you're working with multiple locations and you need to be able to manage that, our platform supports that very, very efficiently for you. So you can also manage all of the punches that are being made, which I'll be showing you in a little while's time. So you're able to see who's been clocking in from where simply by clicking on the user. You're going to be able to see where the punches have been coming in and out from, and scrolling out of the map, you're going to be able to see where else the other punches are coming from. So again, this is another useful feature that we have within our platform, where you're able to manage everything that is happening very, very seamlessly. And you can see right here, these are all the punches that have been made. You can also see images of your punches that have been made. You can also view the details of them, for example, the location from where they've been clocking in and clocking out from. And if you just want the time data, you can view that as well. If you have a crew that you're working with, then you can also manage their time from right here. You can go ahead and submit individual punches for them, or you can do bulk assignment by copying it from the previous timesheet entries and submitting the time for them as well. Similarly, you have all of your timesheets that have been submitted by your team, so you're able to see all of the various timesheets. You're able to filter those and see how many of them are not submitted, how many of them are overdue, to ensure that everything is going smoothly within your organization. Because if timesheets are not submitted on time, the cascading effect can be devastating, and it can also slow down everything that is happening within the organization. So we want to ensure that all of this time data is moved in an orderly fashion, so there are no effects down the line. So you're able to see how many timesheets are not submitted exactly. You can filter this by client, by project. Again, the options are available for you to go ahead, or you can just search by user, and you can also set a date range if that's something you're looking for. The options are available for you to be able to manage all of this very, very easily. And if you want to work with a schedule, then the options are available as well. So setting up a schedule within our platform could not be more easier than what it is. All you need to do is just click on, choose the user, and click on the plus icon, choose the shift type, put in the date, and as easy as that, the schedule is done. But if you want to do a bulk assignment, then you can head over to more, click on add options, and now you can go ahead and choose multiple users, and you can set a schedule for multiple users at one go. Like I said, managing schedules could not have been more easier on our platform, and it becomes so much more easy for you to be able to see exactly who's working on what shift, and managing it can be a whole lot easier with this nice grid that we have displayed for you. You're also able to see how many schedules have actually been published and how many of them are not been published. So it makes it a lot easier to plan these schedules well in advance. And when the time comes right, you can go ahead and click on publish and have all of these schedules published very, very easily from within our platform. Now that I've shown you a couple of features and how you can very easily work all of them, I'm going to kind of switch gears and show you how you can manage all of this very, very seamlessly from our mobile device. Now we built a mobile device from the ground up. We didn't just take our web platform and squeeze it into a mobile platform. Nope. We took the time, we built it from the ground up, and we made it as user friendly as we possibly can. In a minute, you're going to be able to see m- what our platform looks like, and this is what our mobile application looks like. So now you can choose to clock in and clock out if you have a field-based workforce, and if you're struggling to figure out how you can capture their punctures while they're going in and coming out. Well, here's how you can do that. So all you have to do is click on clock out, capture an image of the user. If you feel you're not good enough, you need to do a touch up, you can retake the image, but if it looks good, go ahead and use the photo. And as simple as that, you are now clocked out. And notice, along with my clock out, there are also shows you what where I punched in from, and my location. It comes up there. If there are any validation errors that were triggered, that shows up there. And if I want to delete this punch, I have an option to delete this punch and punch. Again, you can choose whether you want to let this option be visible to your users or not. You can very easily configure that within your administration panel. But nevertheless, the options are available for you to be able to do all of this. If you want to submit your expenses while you're on the go, you can do that as well by simply clicking on the plus icon on the far right of the screen and entering the expense type. Again, whatever expenses have been assigned to you based on the projects you're working on is what you'll have access to. Again, go ahead and enter the expense type, put in the relevant information. We do support multiple currencies, so you can choose whatever currency you want to be reimbursed in. Let's say I traveled and I use a different currency, but I want to be reimbursed in my home currency. So I can go very easily and set that up and request to be reimbursed. The system goes ahead and calculates what is the effective exchange rate and shows you what will be the amount you will be refunded. Also, you can very easily go ahead and submit your time off from right here. You can choose from the various time off options that are available to you, and like I showed you, you can choose from a half day, full day, or a partial day as well, and submit your time off very, very easily from right here. And if you are a team leader, then you can manage all of the different punches that are coming to you. So like I said, you'll receive a push notification if you have the app, and you're able to approve your timesheets, reject your timesheets, reopen your timesheets, check everything's right within the timesheets that you're working with. If you received any time off, you can approve those as well from right here. And also, you're able to view the same map view that I showed you on our web platform. Now you're able to see where your different users are clocking in and out from. Your If I click on it, it's going to show me a picture of them, where they clocked in from, what time they clocked in from, and if there are any errors while clocking in. As you can see, there are 3 validation errors with James Wood So it gives you a lot of useful information to be able to know exactly what all your users are doing at any given time. You're also able to see a history of all the various punches that are being submitted. And you can also view, if you have a crew, you can manage your crew's time from right here, very, very easily. Similarly, like what we did on our web platform, you can do the same, functionalities right here. And you can also view all of the timesheets that have been submitted to you. You're able to see what your gross pay looks like for the specific pay period that you're working on. And you're also able to see what are the total hours that have been put in for that specific pay period. You can, of course, jump through various, time periods to see what each one of them look like. And you're able to see if there are any validation errors, what is the total hours each of them have been working, and you're also able to see how many timesheets have come without any validation errors and what it looks like. You're able to see what your work time, what your break time, all of that at a glance looks like for you within your organization. Now, this is our mobile application that works very, very seamlessly in helping you manage your field-based workforce. And given that we're all working from home right now, it makes it so much more easy to capture the punches and punch outs. And with advanced mobile capabilities that there are, which is geotagging and geofencing. So geotagging allows you to capture the location of where your users are clocking in and out from very, very easily. Geofencing allows you to set a radius that any punches that are captured within that radius will be accepted. Any punches that are captured out of that radius will automatically be rejected. For example, just down the road from my organization, there's a coffee shop where everybody grabs their morning coffee. Now, ideally, I would like my employees to clock in while they're in front of their computers or while they're inside the organization, and not while they're standing in the line grabbing their morning coffee. Not that it's a problem, but it's just ethical to be able clock in and clock out. So I can go ahead and set up a radius for any punches that are captured within the organization to be accepted. Any punches that are captured outside the organization will automatically be rejected. So the options are available for you to go ahead and set that up, and you can very easily customize this however you'd like to. So if your employees are working from home, you want their punches to be captured only while they are at their home residence, you can set that up as well. And all of the options are available and are at your disposal for you to be able to utilize to be able to manage how your organization is functioning. Now, another application that I want to talk about is our cloud clock. Now, our cloud clock helps you manage all of the punches that are coming in and out from the different users that you have within your organization, and it makes it so much more easier. So if you have a warehouse that you're working with and you want to be able to capture all of the punches that are coming in and out from your warehouse, then you could very easily use the cloud clock to be able to do just that. So if I'm going to use face ID, then I can click on face ID and it's going to recognize my face, and then I can say either clock in or clock out accordingly. So if I say clock out, it automatically goes and clocks me out. So this is touchless. It works very, very efficiently. And if I want to do the same, if I want to be able to clock in, I just have to come a little close. It captures my image and it clocks me in as well. So, and if I say clock in, it clocks me in. So it's very easy to be able to clock in and out. And if I want to, do this by user ID, so I can go ahead and type in a user ID very, very easily, and it will clock me in and clock me out as well. So if I type in admin, if I click on submit, and if I say clock in or clock out, it automatically does just that for us. Another feature we have is by using a barcode. So now we can choose to have a barcode, and I just display the barcode and it automatically recognizes me. That's my name on top, Gavin. So, and I say clock out and it clocks me out. So this is how easily you can use the cloud clock to be able to manage all of your punches, your punch in and punch out. If you have a warehouse or if you have multiple locations that you need to be able to manage a very touchless kind of an experience, then all you need to do is go ahead and set up an iPad, and you can install the cloud clock and you can manage it very, very easily. And now you're able to see all the different punches that are coming in and out. You can configure this very, very easily. Our customer service team can definitely assist you in doing just that and helping you manage whatever's how many ever devices you want to be set up within your organization. I'm going to jump screens and come back to our web platform so we can show you a few more features that we have before we kind of wrap things up with today's session. So now that I've shown you how easy it is to be able to capture time and be able to manage all of your different users, be them across different locations, be them different employee types, be it your field-based workforce, it's very easy to manage everything within the Replicon platform. So heading over to our payroll tab here, you can very easily manage all of the raw time data that you have within your organization. So If you have your own, let's say, payroll application that you're working with, it could be Oracle, it could be ADP, and you just need the raw time data, well, it's right here at your disposal. All you need to do is be able to, create a pay run. And in order to do that, excuse me, you're able to see all of the various timesheets that have been submitted. You can see all of them, how many of them are not yet been submitted, how many of them are overdue, and what stage each of them are at. And if a specific supervisor is not available, let's say they're on some sort of time off and you need to approve these timesheets, then you could very easily go ahead and override the system and have these timesheets submitted. So let's say all of these timesheets are not yet submitted, and I know that this supervisor is not available and he's not submitting this timesheet. So we can drill down further to see what exactly is happening. Maybe this guy is not doing his job. He's not completing everything in a timely manner. So as a payroll manager, I'm able to see exactly what's happening, and I can go ahead and forcefully submit all of these timesheets for an approval. And by doing that, it says, are you sure you want to submit these 9? I can go ahead and do that as well. If I want to approve all of these, I can very easily go ahead and approve the timesheet by clicking on approve. It says, you are bypassing the regular approval flow, are you sure you want to approve by bypassing the regular approval flow? So if I click on OK, it asks me to go ahead and put in a comment. So I can put in payroll, and as easy as that, have all of this approved. So managing these timesheets have become so much more easy for you. Similarly, you can manage all of the different time punches that are coming in. You can choose how you want to have all of these time punches. Again, you can view them by just the timestamps, details, or by images as well, and you have all of this information at your disposal right here. You also have various time off options that at your disposal, which you could very easily manage. Again, if something needs to be approved, your expenses, in order for you to be able to create a pay run. If you head over to the payroll workbench here, you can go ahead and very easily create a pay run, which you can export to whatever financial tool you're using within your organization. So creating a pay run is very easy. All you have to is set it in a date frame, or if you want to be able to access the previous pay runs that you've done, then you can head over to the status and choose, so you have access to that. You can also view the by the approval status, by department, by employee type. You have a couple of options where you can go ahead and pull these information up. And you do have file formats that are out of the box. Unlike other solutions out there, we don't charge you anything extra to be able to use these various file formats. They are out of the box, and if you want to add a new file format, it's very easy. All you have to do is click on add a file format, and as easy as that, go ahead and configure it. If you need any help, you can always contact us, and we'll be more than happy to assist you to set that up. So managing all of this cannot be more easier than what we've already made it for you. And like I was talking about, there are a couple of ways you can also, go ahead and configure your timesheet. So there are different validation rules. Remember, we were talking about that. So now you can go very easily go ahead and configure how you would like the validation rules to be in place. So let's say the weekly hours that we're working on. So I can choose now what I want to set the minimum limit at. So let's say 30 hours should be the minimum threshold, 45 hours should be the maximum threshold, and anything more than that should trigger a validation error. I can very easily go ahead and put in those hours and set that up and create a validation rule. So now I can ensure that my timesheet templates are staying compliant whenever they are submitted. Any of them are not within these norms will automatically trigger a hard validation error, and that will result in a submission failure. Similarly, we can also choose how we want these timesheets to be approved. So we have something called a conditional approvers rule, where we can choose how we want to approve. So if you want to create a new rule, you could definitely do that, but we do have a couple of them right here. So supervisor's approval for overtime hours only, which means only if a timesheet has overtime hours, it will go to the supervisor to be approved. If not, it will automatically be approved by the system. You can also make it in a way that every entry that has been entered will automatically be approved by the system, or sent off for an approval by your supervisor. So these are options that are available within a platform where you can automate the entire process. So you are kind of bringing down on the administrative overheads, and utilizing that extra money and extra time to be able to do something more productive within your organization. And that's exactly what our platform is built for, to help you maximize your profitability. Finally, heading over to the dashboards. Now, if you're not a report kind of a person and you want to be able to have something that is pictorial represented, so it makes it a lot more easier to have a conversation with your stakeholders and future prospects, dashboards do just that for you. They are a live representation of what is happening within your organization, and you can feel the pulse through the dashboard as to what is happening. It's live data, it's not stale information. So dashboards are completely customizable to be able to portray whatever information you would like to see, and they are also interactive. By simply placing the cursor over each of these different colors, it shows you what each of them represent. I've just gone ahead and pulled up a couple of different samples just to show you, but you can customize this to portray whatever information you would like to see within your organization. They're, like I said, and I'm saying it again, they are completely customizable and they are in real time. But if you still like to use reports, then reports are available because they are so important to understand what is happening within your organization at any given time. We've taken the liberty of creating a couple of predetermined reports within the platform. You can always build your own report, customize the reports which are already there, and we put them into categories, making it so much more easy for you to be able to access these reports. And all you need to do is click on run report. If you like the way it looks, then you can utilize that report. If you don't, then you can customize this report by heading over to the settings and changing whatever values you would like to change. If the report looks good and everything's right, you can set a schedule if this is something that you're using on a regular basis. Let's say this has to be sent out every week. Then you can put in a name for the report, choose the recurrence of it, choose the date and the time this report needs to be sent, choose who are the people this report needs to be sent to, and click on add, and this runs seamlessly in the background. You don't have to come and make any changes to this unless you're changing the report or anything to the report as such. You can further go ahead and share the report, import it, export it, email it, and print the report from right here. And that is how easy it is for you to be able to manage everything that is happening within our platform. So now that I've shown you how easy it is for you to be able to manage all of your compliance issues for your union and CBS, how easy it is to capture time, whether it be work from home or your field-based workforce, how easy it is to be able to manage your time offs and your schedules. We wanted to go a step further and transform all of that information for you, and with the help of our BI connectors and the popular analytical platforms out there, Tableau, Google, BigQuery, we've gone ahead and done just that for you. If you have a BI expert within your organization, then you could very easily use their expertise to be able to transform the information and understand what is happening within your organization. Is because a lot of organizations know that there are large inefficiencies in how they're operating, but the problem is they're not able to see these inefficiencies, and because they can't see them, they can't fix them, and that leads to a hindered ability for them to be able to maximize their profitability. Thanks to our platform, we are giving you the chance to be able to see exactly what is happening and exactly what are these problems, so you can fix the problems to ensure that you are maximizing your profitability from within your existing operations. We don't want you to add to headcounts. We want to be able to help you, maximize, with what you have. Less is more here, and being able to put in less and get maximum output from that is what most people would like, and I'm sure everyone would be more than happy to be able to achieve that. And you're able to see from a company level what are your total hours that you have, and it's been bifurcated into under allocated, over allocated, time off, and work time as well, so you get a nice idea as to what are the hours and how they've been spent within your organization. You also have your overall utilization. Now we recommend that you keep your utilization at about 70, at 70%, factoring in time off. But you can see right here we are not at that optimum, is because our non-project time is eating into our project time, and we can definitely drill down to see what is preventing us from hitting those optimum numbers. You can also filter these metrics by hours and cost, and we can also do a year by year comparison. You can see your overall productivity at the bottom of the page. For those of you wondering where I am, here I am. So you're able to see it's been bifurcated into project and non-project time as well. And you also can drill down further and see what's happening within your project analyzer. All of these are interactive. By clicking on each one of these tabs, you're able to drill down further and get a better understanding as to what's happening within each of these various projects that you're managing. You can see what your utilization looks like by drilling down again and seeing where you're falling short and how you can correct these mistakes. And thanks to our platform, because the information is always live and current, you are making course corrective actions to ensure there are no problems down the line. And if there is an issue, you're able to nip that at the bud, so it doesn't escalate into something major where it cascades into your billing and into your cash flow, and it becomes devastating for you to manage. Our platform helps you manage everything in real time. And this has brought us to the end of our demo that we have for you today. I'm going to quickly jump back into the presentation so we can take a quick recap of everything and then wrap things up. So here's an example of a customer with a field-based workforce that was using SAP time systems, which did not work for their mobile their workforce. Caused a lot of issues and with their overtime pay. Replicon was able to enable, a mobile time capture with mobile complex rules and rates to ensure global pay accuracy was maintained within their organization. So it became a lot more easy for them to manage their field-based workforce, and also manage their overtime pay, is because that's what the issues they were facing with. Here's a large engineering firm example with varied use cases like non-exempt time and attendance needs in US and project-based workers across the globe. So they had, a multi-location business. They needed the time data for pay calculation and billing. They faced issues with complex time tracking needs, overtime calculation, time off policies and so much more. With our platform and our time intelligence platform, they were able to get a holistic view of what was happening, and with our global compliance library they were able to get a good handle on the pay, project costing and billing as well, which helped them streamline their business and improve their profitability. A quick look at the benefits from our global time and attendance platform that have been reported by our customers, including payroll error reduction, administrative efficiency, global unified view for time and pay data, simplification of labor compliance, among other things that they have been experiencing after moving to Replicon. So the ROI of moving to Replicon is tremendous. We have helped, reduce all of these risks with accounting standards in them. Replicon offers a comprehensive suite which is tailored to whatever needs you may be having within your organization. So, what I'm trying to say is you can very easily mix and match our solutions to meet your business's exact needs. You don't have to go by what solution is displayed here. Let's say you want to mix and match them up. And if that's what you need, then you can get in touch with us and we can very easily help you do just that. Is because we want to help you maximize your profitability and we want to help you be as successful as you can be. And on that note, that has brought us to the end of our presentation. And if you have any questions, I'll be more than happy to take them from you right now. I'm just checking to see if I received any questions in the question box. I don't believe I've received any questions, but not a problem. If you do have any questions, then feel free to reach me at gavin.philip@replicon.com. I'll be more than happy to answer those questions for you. If you enjoyed the session today that we had, and if you like to see, other customized demos on the other solutions that are available, you can either contact us or you can head over to our landing page, that's replicon.com, and check out the other webinars that we have lined up. We have our weekly webinars, we have our monthly webinars, and we have our spotlight webinars, and we have a whole bunch of more webinars that are, in store, which will be coming up soon. So head over to our landing page. You can see the topics that there are. If any of those topics pique your interest, then go ahead and subscribe for those webinars and ensure that you register and watch the webinar as well, so you know exactly what it is all about. Also, you can head over to our YouTube page and hit that bell, that subscribe button and the bell icon, so you stay the first to be updated with all of the latest content that we're putting out for you. And follow us on social media so you know exactly what is happening within our organization, and also you will be, get a chance to win some fun goodies in the process as well. So, if there are no further questions, then I think we can wrap today's session up. My name is Gavin Seaman. It was a real pleasure talking to each and every one of you. Until we meet again, take care, stay safe, God bless, and bye bye.